My ball python did something one night that completely stopped me. I was sitting on the couch, watching TV. He was draped across my arm, doing his usual thing. Then, out of nowhere, he pushed the top of his head directly into my palm. Not a strike, not exploration. He just pressed, held it there, completely still, eyes closed against my hand. I had no idea what it meant. I assumed he wanted off, or was uncomfortable, or maybe I was imagining the whole thing. So I looked it up, and what I found changed how I understood every single interaction I had ever had with him. In this video, we are going to decode the exact biological reason your snake presses its head against you. We're going to look at the hidden mechanics of their sensory system, how they process your specific physical signature, and exactly why they do this. But more importantly, by the end of this video, you will discover the one profound, real-time decision your snake's nervous system is making when they do this. A decision that proves your relationship with them is far deeper than just providing food. Most snake owners assume head pressing means the snake wants to move somewhere, maybe pointing towards something, maybe uncomfortable where it is. Those are reasonable guesses, but none of them explain why a snake would press its head specifically against a person's skin and then just hold completely still. To understand what is actually happening, you have to understand something about the head of a snake that most owners never stop to think about. Your snake's head is its most important piece of equipment. Everything that matters to its survival runs through that one single structure. The Jacobson's organ, which reads chemical fingerprints from the air, sits in the roof of the mouth and connects directly to the tongue. The heat-sensitive pits, in species that have them, line the face and can detect temperature changes of less than 1 degree from several feet away. The eyes, the jaws, the entire sensory system your snake relies on to navigate the world, all of it is packed into that one small, fragile area. It is also the most vulnerable part of the snake's body. In the wild, a strike to the head is fatal. Every predator knows it. Every prey animal knows it. And your snake, no matter how many generations removed from the wild, is biologically hardwired to know it too. Which means when a snake voluntarily presses its head against something or someone, it is making a calculation most people never register. It is putting its most critical, most vulnerable structure in direct physical contact with a surface it hasn't fully identified yet. That is never random. That is a deliberate, biological decision. Here's what the head press is actually doing biologically. When your snake's head makes contact with your skin, the Jacobson's organ kicks into high gear. Your body heat is pulling your scent off the surface and concentrating it right at the source. Think about the difference between smelling coffee from across a room versus pressing your nose directly into the cup. It's the exact same scent, but a completely different intensity. When your snake presses its head against you, it is getting a full-strength, maximum detail read of exactly who you are. And the warmth is not just amplifying the scent, it's communicating on its own. Snakes read heat as information. A warm surface with a steady, consistent temperature and a rhythmic vibration underneath it, your heartbeat, your blood flow, is a specific, identifiable pattern, one they felt before, one they recognize. The first time my snake did this, I thought I was projecting. I thought I was doing the thing people always warn against, reading human emotions into a reptile brain that simply doesn't work that way. Then I noticed when he did it, and when he didn't. He never pressed his head against a heating pad, never against a warm towel, never against a stranger's hand when I'd passed him over. The head press showed up specifically with me, and specifically during calm moments, after a long handling session, in the evenings when the house was quiet, when nothing was moving and nothing was happening. That pattern matters. A heating pad is warm. A warm towel is warm. A stranger's hand is warm. None of them got the head press. I did. The head is where a snake's defensive posture starts. Watch any snake that feels threatened. The head pulls back, the neck coils into that rigid S shape. The eyes lock onto the threat with intense focus. The entire front of the body becomes a loaded system, ready to respond at a fraction of a second. Now flip that completely. A snake with its head relaxed, neck soft, body loose, That's a snake whose nervous system has decided the situation does not require defense. That is not a passive state. That is an active choice their brain is making in real time based on every single bit of sensory data they are currently running through. When your snake's head presses against your hand and holds still, it has already completed that entire assessment. It ran every check available to it. Your scent, your warmth, your heartbeat, your pattern of micro-movements, and the result came back clear. No threat. Known. Safe. The head press is not the beginning of a scan. It's what comes after the scan is completely finished and everything checked out perfectly. Now, there's one version of this behavior I want to be entirely clear about because it looks similar, but it's not the same. Head pressing with force against a hard surface, like the glass of an enclosure or the wall of a hide, repeated over and over, can be a severe neurological symptom. It can signal a respiratory infection, toxin exposure, or something affecting the brain directly. If your snake is pressing its head against the tank with intensity and doing it repeatedly, that's a vet visit immediately, not a bonding moment. The way you tell the difference is everything else the body is doing. A health-related head press is compulsive, forceful, and often paired with a loss of normal coordination or stargazing. What we're talking about in this video, the soft, still, deliberate press against your hand or arm, is completely different in character. It's gentle, chosen, calm. I've had people ask me whether my snake actually knows me, or if he just knows the person who feeds him, like the whole relationship is strictly transactional. I provide the rat, he tolerates my presence. The head press answered that question for me, because he doesn't do it right after a feeding, when food is the obvious and only association. He does it in the quiet moments, the unscheduled ones, when I'm just there and nothing is happening. And he decided that's apparently enough of a reason. Researchers studying reptile behavior and cognition have found that snakes do absolutely distinguish between individual humans based on chemical signatures, movement patterns, and sensory familiarity that builds over time. The bond is not emotional the way a mammal bond is emotional, but it is real. It's hardwired. It's encoded in how their nervous system physically responds to your specific presence versus anyone else's. Next time your snake pushes its head into your hand and holds still, don't pull away. Don't assume it wants to move somewhere. Just hold steady and let it finish what it's doing. It's reading you, one more time, in the most direct, highest resolution way it knows. And staying still means you're passing the final check. What is happening in that moment is not complicated. Your snake took its most vulnerable part and pressed it against you, not the floor, not the glass, not a stranger's hand. You. After everything its ancient nervous system ran through, your scent, your warmth, your heartbeat, your pattern of micro-movements, it made a choice. That choice was you. So, I want to ask you about your own experience. What is the one behavior your reptile does that made you realize they actually recognize you? Drop your story in the comments below. And if you want to keep decoding the real science and hidden behaviors of the animals we keep, make sure to subscribe.